These are the best highlights from today's 2024 LCK Summer Split matchup.
To go for a dive or anything like that, but you can see that even after the lane swap, Aiming still struggling a bit into this duo.
See if once he hits 6, they can maybe find an all-in angle. Very strong with the Senna once she has her ult as well. Grubs are going to go over to Nongshim after that teleport back to the lane from Kingin. And with bot side Prio going Nongshim's way as well. I mean, they're up 1,000 gold here nearly in this game, and they might actually be able to contest this dragon. This is such a great start for Nongshim, and all the ward. Lucid's up here.
I think he knows now. He just got hit by the minions.
Yeah.
But yeah, Lucid looking for a play. If he lands this ult onto Mihail, yep, he's going to land it. There it is, the flash on in from Kingin, and he is just so dead. Nothing that Mihail can do.
Lucid doesn't have ult, isn't here, is backing right now. There's just nothing they can do. That's a ton of gold into the pockets of the Nila and the Senna. Both Jiwoo and Vital went cleanse as well, so it's really tough to actually find an angle to set something up here to defend the turret. And no answer just yet. Sylvie's coming over, but he alone I don't think is going to be enough.
Okay, they're going to engage on a Sylvie, but now Moham is here, and immediately Sylvie's like, oh crap, there's 3 of them. I didn't mean to get into this kind of fight, but Sylvie's just going to go down. And first blood given over, it said, actually, over there to the Kaisa, and it is going to be another kill given over to Moham.
You know, you ever watch the old Robin Hood, like, animated film? Where Robin Hood's like wearing the glasses and he's shaking the can, like asking for, he's like, I'm for the poor. That's like top players are like, please give me XP, please give me any minions I can get.
Yeah.
Hold this wave to try to keep the turret alive. Down through the lane instead of actually coming from that brush there. It's much safer, and he might actually be able to surprise them. Instead, he just kind of walks face first into his death. They're not able to save Mihail. The great Zenith blade coming through from Moham to finish the job. The aggro of the turret is juggled pretty well. Showmaker going to deny minions and get this turret. Will not be first brick, but it will be 425 gold into his coffers. And this game state is pretty weird. If you don't have vision, if you don't have prio, it's very tricky. This situation, Sylvie's on this first, but definitely prio goes to Dplus. They have this TP as well, and I think Nongshim should be wary of actually looking for an engage. Jiwoo can't close the gap.
Yeah, Nongshim very split up here. They're trying to group up, and they're going to get that cleanse out of Jiwoo, but Moham in a bit of a trouble here as the Aurora ult does come down. Moham might bite the dust. Yes, he will, but Sylvie goes down as well as Aiming takes him out. As now Lucid trying to disengage here. DK don't want any more, but that will be a second kill going over to Mihail on this Aurora.
Otherwise, whereas Fisher, the mid laner, offering a ton of damage there with that Aurora.
We're going to see the top lane turret go down, actually. Tier 1 here given over to DK. That Rift Herald getting some value
Deep into the enemy jungle as he is now. There's playing through this top side. Here comes Fisher.
Yeah, I'm trying to go for an all-in here onto Showmaker, who will respect it. Does go for a flash, especially with Sylvie making his way up here. As the Nature's Grasp, he is under turret, but he's still killable as in goes Sylvie, and Showmaker will be taken down. It's 500 gold given over to Fisher on Zeri. As we got another fight in mid here, though, as it looks like Nila has pushed up a little bit too far.
As a support who is a pseudo AD carry in this case with Fisher.
Oh, he's got Aiming with him, and there goes Aiming right into the back line, takes out Fisher.
Answer this right now. But that is going to be the inner going down, as Dplus have just played such a great macro game here. And Nongshim have tunneled so hard on trying to get this mid turret, but it's been stopped now twice. Looks like this time, the third time of asking, they will finally get this down. But the inner turret's gold is definitely more valuable. Aiming is already sitting on 2 items before he back split off. Looked like he was just going to walk straight into 4 people, but he does realize he can't take that path and takes the longer path around now. And what looked like a great Drake start for Dplus, they're now outnumbered. Showmaker is about to walk into a TP, he sees it.
Mihail's just in the back line. He's just going to be blown up immediately. Gets taken out, and now the Equalizer does a good job zoning them away. A bit of damage is now on this front line. Nongshim's still trying to fight it for some reason. They have already lost the fight. It's double kill for Aiming, as now some big ones are coming out, and the poke from Aiming as well as he dashes into the back line. And this could even be a penta, but it is just one guy to get away. Jiwoo, a quadra kill goes to our Gold King.
For a second or two, and now the rest of the team shows up, so a big team fight win. Dragon goes over, 4 kills for Aiming, all this Baron gold.
And now he basically just gets to do whatever he wants. I mean, it's not really a good angle for Nongshim unless Dplus Kia really mess something up from here.
And it's not just aiming who's big. The Corki is also an item ahead of this area as well.
Yeah.
Maybe an angle here on the Showmaker.
He's just trying to turn onto Mahal, and yes, he has a lot of damage, but that is 2 guys. Make it 3 now as Fisher flashes the wall. Equalizer comes down, just kind of half-heartedly to try to peel, but that is going to be Showmaker taken down.
But unfortunately, they had to use so much to do it that Dplus are like, well, cool story. Showmaker's up in 12 seconds here. There's no contest of the Drake. Maybe he'll get it now.
Sentinel ultimate over the top. Let's see it. Come on, let's do it. One time for the boys, says the root's going to come down. Equalizer, a lot of damage into Nongshim, and that is just Baron given over to Dplus Kia as in goes the Aurora, and Moham is in a really rough spot, and now Mihail is able to jump over to the side, but they only get 1, as Lucid still has his flash, and he doesn't even have to use it.
They get the pick onto Moham, who's left behind. He's a Leona, but they get an inner turret. Maybe they can get more here. There's a Neela ult.
Yeah, he's going to use it onto Lucid, and then nearly die.
I saw +6 for a second there. You know?
Yeah, okay. Well, Sylvie's going to throw out an ult here, knowing that this is the push that the wave that they want to go on. But now here comes the Wombo combo. Not really going to layer it well onto Sylvie, who does get away with the Maokai Twisted retreat this time. And finally, Dplus Kia get into the positive here for the Mountain Soul for Dplus Kia. So Nongshim trying to create some kind of resistance, but already a little bit behind the 8 ball.
Hanging on a flank here for an equalizer setup.
All right, they're trying to engage on a Lucid as the cleanse will come out, and everybody on the side of Nongshim just abandons ship. Just gets away, just tries to kite it out. Lucid is pretty low, and now the Aurora ultimate comes down. They catch Lucid! They catch the juggler of DK! And that is going to stop this push from coming in. Jiu also going to be able to lock down a kill, but that just gives aiming another one, and now potentially the snowball to come in as everything is on fire, but Kingen maybe disrespecting the enemies now as they push forward. Nongshim looking for more, and they're looking for the big shutdown onto aiming as he has the Zhonya's, but only the Zhonya's 1Q does a lot of damage, but it's only a trade 1-for-1, and Nongshim are on the push.
They're on the push. They're going to look for this inhibitor at least. I mean, there's 4 members down. Kingen doesn't have ult. They might just be able to end this game. I think they can. They have a ton of damage from these champs that they have up and available. Mountain's Dragon denied. Get the inhibitor. Look at the respawn timer.
No,
I think
Mountain Dragon.
They are taking the Dragon, which is being contested by TP in live. So the Equalizer gets low value here in this fight because they just retreat super well. They get the shielding, and the ultimate comes through from the Senna. Plus now they do have this scuttle, but otherwise not a lot of vision here. Decisive call here from Nongshim, but there's a wraparound.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to take a ton of poke damage as well from aiming. They got to be careful about that. So starting a Baron is very risky. You can see already some of the health bars being chipped away. It's not just aiming, it's also Showmaker as in goes Moham, the equalizer. Again, this is not a full committal, but now aiming going to pull the trigger. Big solar flare onto that backline, but the damage was not put in. Lucid super low, and so is Moham, and so is aiming. Aiming the first one to go down. Showmaker just throws his life away in the river. And Nongshim are just outplaying them.
That was a disastrous fight from Dplus. Very puzzling calls there. The Aurora ultimate locks down aiming, and now Lucid, the last to fall. I think maybe they'll get an inhibitor this time. Valdez off of 4 kills. Kingen once again the only one alive. Go to top lane. Remember, they still have those 6 grubs from earlier. They're making quick work of these turrets. They should be able to turn this into an inhibitor, maybe even more.
I think without Baron, it's going to be difficult.
But they could just kite down towards the mid inhibitor, worst case scenario. But I mean, look at this. With 6 grubs, they can definitely push the issue. I mean, Showmaker's not up for 13, aiming for 10. I think they just end.
Yeah, they just have to push potential, enough minions, and not enough Dplus Kia. Nongshim RedForce win game number 1.
Vital did win his last Rel game. It looked pretty good on it. I think might have even gotten POG. I know he definitely got some votes. I think he's proven that he's a very good Rel player. I feel like it's going to be a big boon for Nongshim just yet, or wherever. It didn't really get anything out of that.
Yeah.
Showmaker, let's be careful here.
Yeah, I mean, this is just what Corki does nowadays. Just kind of wins trades. That's why he is so present. He farms up.
He can't offer any damage back. I mean, the nerf to Corki was his health, but if you're not able to auto him and he just Gatling guns you down repeatedly, then that's not going to be a winning exchange, as Fisher did already teleport. Takes a bit of turret damage, but should be able to clear this and get a free back. Maybe going in for the top side gank would have been a little bit more effective for Sylvie, though, trying to punish Kingen, as he is going to head back to lane right now. And if they get 5 on this Tristana and aside, I've already talked about what this is strong at doing. So much this game, but almost so much this season.
All right, here's the fight. He catches 2, and Lucian just going to be burnt down 100-0. The Aurora ult comes in, but now Kingen is alone. They try to turn out to him. He's going to be forced to flash away. It's a pretty big win here for Nongshim. They want to go for a bit more as the ult's just not the prediction they were looking for. And meanwhile, DK are just taking the objective.
So they end up with an additional grub there. Not going to be the 5 they wanted. Still pretty significant. They're able to get that 1. This is going to be good in the side, but it's just great engages. Meanwhile, speaking of engages.
Yeah, just going on in. Lucid here once again, but now Moham's just going to be torn apart. Aiming doesn't do damage yet. I mean, he just got his Triforce, and he's still not able to cut through the Sejuani or the Cassante. So that engage very ill-fated from the outset, I would say.
He gets punished. You're playing into a Kaisa. Very strong punish comp here for Nongshim. Then you can end up losing the game again and going 0-2.
And an angle onto Corki. But as you mentioned, well, he's Corki. So he just Valkyrie's away and he's got bodyguards, and it ends up another kill for Nongshim. Dplus Kia do pick up this Rift Heralds. Probably going to look to drop this either in mid and top. He's really trying to clear the wave, I guess, to not get dove. Well, he's still in a lot of trouble here, but now he doesn't have assaults, and he's just going to be CC'd 100-0. It does take quite a while, but it's still a kill given over to the Corki. Meanwhile, though, DK pushing in mid. They're going to get this tier 1 and maybe a bit more.
Yeah, putting the extra charge through here for Lucid. No one there for the punish. Tristana also pushing in the top side, so you know, every action you make in League of Legends has an equal and opposite reaction, but in this case, two opposite reactions, which is several turrets
breaking the laws of physics as we speak.
Pushing, and even though he dies there, buys a significant amount of time, pulls all those resources down, and it's a huge win for Dplus. So we'll get the second dragon. Oh, it's Infernal. Wow, what a pleasant surprise. But still, nonetheless, pretty good.
Moham's just kind of running through the dark jungle here. He is going to get a big heal in a moment, as now the counter engage does come in. Gio in a bit of trouble, has to flash away. Now trying to get on top of Moham. Meanwhile, we got a fight up the left here. Kingen getting very low. He is going to be pulled in and nearly taken down. A lot of low health bars here. Nongshim trying to run away now, as Showmaker and Aiming with the Ivern are still very scary.
To do more damage to turret. That is what she is doing in this game, pushing lanes and taking out turrets. Moham is denying any flanks here, as Mihail's going to try to go in.
Yeah, we got a Fisher flank here from a Corki. I don't know about this, as the Solar Flare is going to miss another roll. Comes on in, right on top of the Tristana. They're going to catch DK with their pants down. Is now Aiming in a bit of trouble, but he does have the Ivern to help him out. Moham going to get a little bit of help from Daisy, and now Kingen makes his way over and should be able to zone them away, but it's a kill over to Nongshim. Still, DK have 0 kills in this game. They're looking for their first one, and they might get it here as Vital will finally go down. Mihail is just going to run away from this one, but he can't get away from the Ezreal, as Aiming picks up the double.
You can take out Showmaker, but there's another 80 carry there, and the health bars are so low after Kingen's ult that it's easy cleanup. As Sylvie, this is greedy.
Well... If they just assume they're not there, maybe they're not there. But they were there, it turns out. Is Aiming going to pick up another kill? The ult, yes. But as Ox mentioned before, the Rel a little bit more difficult to handle, and they don't have Moonstone. So now it's just going to be Kingen dying. This has been more and more side lane pressure from Nongshim. They're going to get another kill here, and now maybe threaten Baron.
Yeah, it's Operation Kill Side Laner. Specifically, laner in top lane has been the game plan for Nongshim. And as Baron is up, like you say, this pick leads to an opportunity here. Teleport coming through from Mihail onto this ward. Try to keep them at bay. Showmaker is going to TP in, but it's very late.
Yeah, it's very late. He didn't want to commit to it. This is just a free Baron given over to them. Lucid cannot get into the pit, and now they're trying to engage here. 5v4 are Nongshim. The knockup comes in, and down goes Leona. Down falls the Ivern. And Showmaker and Aiming, the 280 carries are left alone. Trying to get some miraculous play here. They might be able to, but it's just a bit of poke, and that is it. Nongshim will look to back away with 5 members worth of Baron.
The time that they needed, now he's down TP. They will be able to get Soul Point for this, which is Infernal Soul, so very significant in terms of what they get in return, but Nongshim take a gold lead in this game now, and these fights are not very convincing. Decisive means they're also going to potentially lose this inner. They will.
Yeah, I mean, this is a little bit of what we saw in game 1 as well. You know, when the pressure came on, this team doesn't know how to play late game. They don't know how to macro as well as us, and they're just proving everybody wrong. Because Nongshim, they beat T1, they gained some extra confidence. Backing on a ward.
Or Sorel does, excuse me.
He's gonna scan it. So Moham is going to be engaged on here as, yeah, just a bit of an issue, not respecting the wardage, and the rest of the team is like, man, we can't help you. That's just Moham down, and it might just be the Dragon surrendered to Nongshim.
So tricky, and I just don't think you can pull it off. They're going to send Showmaker to try to take out that inner turret and top. That was a nice try. But now Nongshim are like, cool, we defend this turret, and we set up for the Baron contest.
We'll see if they can defend this as the satchel does go off. Well, that's a different champion, but now Kingen just kind of running through the jungle once again, and there is a sneaky Cassante in the jungle, and they just ran through the dark jungle, as now Showmaker has to flash to get away. He's the only carry. Like, if he gets caught, I don't even blame him. The team has just put him in such a rough spot at Nongshim.
Vital's flank angle.
Yeah, Vital's got a flank, Jiu's got a flank, they're closing in, they've got a concave, and they have pressure on this Baron.
Kingen has TP, but doesn't have ult.
Oh, trying to get it here on top of Jiu. He'll just dash away. This is going to be Baron over to Nongshim, as now we do have Vital coming in from behind, but he goes in alone. The rest of the team is just abandoning ship. They're just getting away. And it's another Baron given over to Nongshim.
Kingen's here. Look at this angle for Vital. He just sacrifices himself to make sure that nobody can get onto this Baron. They secure it. They get out. They lose only 1 member, and now they are sieging.
Really still trying to figure out what's going on, or having other issues in the case of T1, and I mean, now we're just gonna get another pick here on a Lucid. It's just free, and
literally free. Dante's inside has a teleport as well, so he can actually push down that inhibitor turret with the rest of this Baron. This inner is gone.
And Jiu he's really feeling himself. He's dodging literally every single Mystic shot. He's in range, he's doing more poke even than aiming at this point, and they have 2 Fed carries, which DK do not.
I mean, this is the Nongshim that the Nongshim fans were waiting for.
Stone, by the way, it's like still not done.
Yeah, he's...
I hope that Michaelis is getting value. He wasn't able to utilize it to get himself out of the Sejuani ult the last time. Mile, he's still got full health.
Vital on the flank too. He's just constantly threatening. They see him, but it doesn't mean that they can't. I mean, they can't walk up still. They know he's there, so they know they can't actually.
Look at the damage. Look at the damage on the Baron. They don't have any vision. They don't have any way in, and now Vital is just gonna kind of send an engage. It's not a good one. He will go down. It's 5v4. In goes the Aurora, but immediately just gets ripped to shreds. But Mihail very low. In goes Siwu, assassinates him. But now he's in a rough spot. Might have to go down here, as it is 4v1, just throws a Q in, and now DK are on the push.
It might be a game 3, Valdez. I think this was a huge error of judgment from Nongshim. They did the same play on the Baron last time, except they sacrificed Vital and walked away. This time they were like, okay, we go in on this engage, and it was not the right call. Kingen gets huge value, and Dplus are looking to end.
I don't think it's over. They have Baron. They have a lot of wave clear with the Corki. They're trying to, at least Fisher's trying to trade. That's not what you want to do, as he will be pushed all the way back to his inhibitor, or rather his fountain. But yeah,
they're on the left side of the pit. They're just going to use Mihail as a wall.
Yeah, I mean, he's tanky, but at the end of the day, we're in the late game with double AD carry comps. Will DK get in is the question, as it goes to Ezreal! Aiming, he steals the Infernal Soul for DK!
And that's a ton of extra damage for this composition, and they're just going to say, you're backing.
Which got in range for the Q, and it all happened so fast that, you know, Moham, though, he's in a lot of trouble. Again, he has to flash. This ult's not going to be great, as Moham is very low, but now we got Mihail in the ult here, and Kingen has to flash away. Jiu is on the hunt. He's going to take him down, but again, in a rough spot is now Vital, just being kited out. A lot of damage coming in from Fisher, but look at aiming on the top side of the fight. He will be the one who carries alongside of Lucid and Showmaker. As Mihail goes in, he will take a Moham, and actually does take this wave with him. Cassante is crazy, but not as crazy as Ezreal in the late game.
And get these low health minions.
I mean, they know he's here, but it's the only choice for Sylvie. He does get the smite, but there's one left, and that will do it. for this game. They can just tank it up with Iron Shields. They have Tristana and Ezreal. You've got W's, you've got explosions, and down will go the Nexus. Dplus Kia force a game number 3.
Ezreal's going to outrange it. The Tristana can play very well around it with her rocket jump. It's very difficult to punish her in the laning phase. And you're sometimes just shut out by the Maokai. You can't dash away. You can't actually set up the ult. So that adjustment in draft is pretty huge here. In the outset of this game, it's still early days. We do see Nongshim with the bottom side control of the lane. We'll be able to get this dragon. It's traded, of course, for all 3 grubs top side with the Aurora controlling the top lane. And this happened last time we had Aurora and Dinar.
He likes when the production puts him at the top and the AD carry at the bottom of the other team. And Showmaker in a lot of pressure here, and that's just going to be first blood. Sylvie able to dive under the turret and take him down. Now Lucid is here. We got a roam coming in from Kingen. Fisher pretty low. Not sure if he's going to be able to help without Divide as well. Sylvie does have his bottom lane coming on over, as this is going to get pretty risky, I would say, as the ult is going to come down here from Kingen. Holds them all in play as the True Shot Barrage does an insane amount of damage. And that is just going to be a double kill over to Lucid and a bonus kill for Kingen.
Great start. The first kill comes through, ends up being a disaster as 3 fall on the side of Nongshim, or 2 fall rather.
Oh, nice. Trade for 1 grub goes the way of Lucid. And they're looking for more. They have the Tristana, they have the Ezreal. Yeah, that sounds better.
Yeah.
Sounds better.
No one knows what her ult's called. I feel like literally not even one person's ever named it.
You know, Atlas is very good at naming all the abilities. I personally am not. And I saw it like 3 times. Since it's been played so much, I was on the space, I was looking at the abilities. I'm like, okay, this is the name. We got a TP coming in here.
Kill top side laner. Go.
Yeah, well, I mean, in the 1v1, feels pretty good for Fisher, as now, again, Flash available for Showmaker. Sentinel's coming in. There's the Flash, and he still gets taken out. And Fisher didn't even need Sylvie. Cage is going to miss, and Fisher gets out. But this push from DK is very good. But how about the turn coming out from Nongshim? Jiu keeps them around. The TP comes in from Ahile, as everybody is so low. Jiu will dodge the True Shot Barrage. Kingen makes his way over as well, but it's just a kill lockdown.
Kind of helpful for Senna, but otherwise, you know, and kind of Neela as well with the tenacity, but we're going to lose this dragon, or rather lose this turret. His first turret going over to D+. But
you definitely see it out of a Gnar, out of a Sejuani, trapped in the cage here is Jiu, who's taking a ton of damage and has to cleanse, but it's Ezreal, and aiming just shuts that down. Jiu with no sums outside of the cleanse, it's not enough to get him away.
Yeah, fights and can win you a fight just by placement of her ultimate. We've seen so many times, though, if you're a little bit too far forward, she just presses R and then you can easily follow up because there's no escape. As Kingen will play very respectfully here on the turret, but it doesn't matter. The damage has been done.
Aiming, simple cleanse, but it's still a tier 1 that's taken by Nongshim. Kind of, we didn't really see the setup for that, but
I was just going to side lane, start to farm up a little bit. We'll get his first item off of this back. And the Azir is also going to be a very strong scaling champion. We talked about it could have been double AD carry. He had a rough start to the laning phase, but a lot is happening. They give up the objective. They give up the Chemtech Dragon, but they're going to get this turret here. They're actually going to get both, ultimately. See how well they defend the Herald.
Yeah, they just feel like they can't really, especially with 2 of their guys out on the map, but it's 2 turrets for 1. Yes, DK did get the middle. And, I mean, it makes it very difficult for anyone on Nongshim to really just stand there. And that's going to give them a chance now with 6 Void Grubs to hit the inner of the mid lane, as now the Neela ultimate is going to lock Boham in place, but he is Rel. Will he be tanking enough? The answer is no, as now we still have the Flash ult engaged from Sylvie, and now a massive divide comes in from Fisher, catches 2 of them, forces so many of these ultimates to come out, but now we got the huge cage coming on down. Mahia looking for the engage, and he gets it on the 3, but the damage not quite coming through just yet for Nongshim. Finally, they get 1 in the trade, but Aiming and Kingen's still alive on the backside. Looks like they do want to fight it. I mean, at this point, I feel like both teams wouldn't be too sad to go for a fight. Mihail is about to hit his Mega Gnar.
Could be denied here. Huge play from Mihail, who now has his Gnar bar set, and Kingen's out of the fight for now.
Yeah, he could just, you know, zone Kingen away. They do not really have Kingen for now, but now the Maokai ultimate is going to be coming in. Sylvie does dodge it. He is on top of this. It is just a flip, and it goes to Lucid. As the smite not there for Sylvie once again. We get a big sweep on the disengage, but this true shot barrage into the Aurora ult is just disgusting. As now the damage is coming through. Fisher will fall, the Nila will fall, and DK are looking for more. Kingen with that mobility is going to find Vital, gives the kill over to Showmaker. That's 3 and the Drake to DK.
But when she shows up, I mean, they kept her out for a while, but when she shows up, the fight is over. It's lights out, and Nongshim now significantly behind, but that's before this Baron goes over. Talked about the mid-inner already being down. There's some standing gold they can grab off of the top turret here.
Long, almost overpowered champion is finally finding more success in the LCK because this is what makes sense, I would say.
When you have a comp that makes sense for it, I feel like it looks really good. When you pick it for the tier list and then you don't build around it, it looks rough. I mean, not rough, but less good.
Yeah.
It still looks pretty good.
That's the thing. I mean, it's still a very good champ. Dplus Kia, very big Red Bull Baron power play at this point. Mahal is getting some bonus gold in the bottom lane, but it's still definitely advantage to Dplus Kia.
And they don't have map control, obviously, because they're facing this Baron for 30 more seconds, as Mihail may get punished as well as this Gnar expires.
Yeah, the timing of this is really rough for Mihail, and Showmaker really does want to make the most of this, as he will be forced to flash away, but Showmaker has his own flash. Not going to force the issue.
Chemtech Dragons, of which they will now have 3.
Yeah.
So even if he gets hit by a few Azir autos, some Sand Soldiers, he can just kind of walk it off. And no vision. We're going for this. The Senna ult will reveal the timing. This is a good angle for Nongshim.
Yeah,
the Maokai ult.
The Maokai ultimate just denies Sylvie, throws in an ult, but the damage is not there. He gets knocked away by Showmaker as well, and now everybody is in the Aurora ult. It is just a crazy team fight. Nila will go down. Some big ultimates coming in from the Gnar and the Azir. Fisher's still alive, but he eventually does fall, and that is one of the big pillars of Nongshim right now. DK, they take down the Baron. They take a nice turn fight afterwards. And Vital's just hitting the minions, trying to stop this game from ending.
Yeah, just going to try to clear this wave. I feel like if the game state was much closer, that actually could have been a winnable fight for Nongshim. The Buster Shot is fantastic. Guarantees there's nothing Sylvie could do. Maokai ult into Buster Shot means no steal, guaranteed Baron. And yes, great Gnar coming through from Mihail. Fisher's ult was awesome as well, but G was taken out of the fight early, and Vital can only do so much. And I think Dplus still likely end off of this top wave. No way to defend without Fisher. 20 seconds on the Azir.
Yeah, they just don't really have wave clear with these two specifically, especially against the Baron. And that should be enough to get the job done, as the Nexus is open. Miles going in. He's got a Mega Gnar. He only hits aiming, and he's just being chunked by that very man himself. As Sylvie also going to be locked in. Fisher trying his best. They are desperate, but it is not going to happen. Dplus Kia, they do get across the line and take the series 2-1. After losing that first game, they pull it back.
These were some of the best highlights from today's 2024 LCK Summer Split matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.